Hi guys, I'm here to talk about topic number 1 for Unit 3, and this is talking about comparing a class that you like to take and comparing a class that you didn't like to take. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the class that I didn't like to take, and this was a college history class that I had to take for my bachelor's degree. I absolutely hated this class. I think this is one big reason why I don't like teaching social studies. So I don't exactly remember what history class it was, but I do remember that it wasn't one of the lecture ones. There was 2 lecture classes that I had to take and then one that was just within the classroom. And this happened to be the one that was in the classroom. I didn't like the lecture ones either because I didn't really learn much from them, but this one was a smaller group of people, probably 20 to 30 people in the class, and the professor was probably the worst professor I've ever had at Potsdam State. And I'm not going to say his name, but he was, I was not the type of person that wanted to get up and participate. One, because I wasn't very good at history or social studies when I first came into college or even out of high school. That's not my strong suit. So I was already nervous taking the class, and then he was very intimidating up in the front of the room. He would yell at you if you even spoke. You weren't allowed to have water bottles. You couldn't bring gum or food. I mean, this is college. Let's be real. And so, you would sit there and you'd have to listen to him, and we did nothing to even participate. The only thing we would do is raise our hand and answer a question if we knew it. He would sit there and talk to us the entire time, and we would have to take notes. I ended up having to get a tutor. The only time I had to get a tutor in my whole college career, because I just couldn't understand anything. He degraded people. He was very intimidating, and it was just very turn-off-ish. I wasn't happy about the environment. I was always scared to go to class. I was sick to my stomach when I would get there, which is honestly not like the rest of my experience at Potsdam. This was maybe one or out of the 2 or 3 classes that I really didn't like. But he wasn't exciting. He wasn't encouraging people. He was just kind of, judging them if they didn't understand what they were talking about or if they got the answer wrong. So unfortunately, that was probably one of my worst experiences when it came to classes. Now, on the other hand, I really liked all my master's classes. I've really enjoyed my master's compared to my bachelor's. I mean, not that I didn't like my bachelor's, but this time I was really able to pick the classes that I wanted to take and that I was interested in. And I liked how, I watched a video earlier, I think it was Allison that put it up, saying that they had a lot of arts and crafts and stuff, and it didn't feel like she was learning that much. And I do understand how you feel about that. I did feel like that a few times in some of my classes. But what I liked about it was that we were able to put our own twist on it. So when they would give us a topic or a project to do, they would pretty much just give it to us and let us do what we wanted, which I really enjoyed. So we could, do things and different activities that I would do in my classroom or I want to try out and, see what the professor would think and what my other classmates would think. I really liked that. So in having a choice to do that was a lot easier for me to get in front of people. For some reason, it's a lot easier for me to talk in front of my 5th graders or 6th graders now than it would be to talk in front of people my age. So, being able to pick a topic that I know or that I am familiar with, or able to pick activities that are fun and exciting that I can, get up in front of the room and not be nervous to present in front of people. I think that was one of the big things, and I gained a lot of strength and courage taking these classes because public speaking is not my thing. Even when I was first doing these videos, I was really nervous, even though I can't see any of you, but it still makes me nervous. So going along with that, what I like to do in my classroom a lot are gallery walks, and that goes along with with Tim Bedley, if any of you have ever heard of him. He's came to our school a few times for professional development, and he's amazing. So gallery walks are kind of like they get the kids up and moving. They're able to go around the room and check other people's work and add to other people's work depending on what we're doing. And that kind of goes along with Strategy 33 in our 120 content strategies books. And it talks about using visuals and graphics. So a lot of the times during our gallery walks, we have a certain topic that each group or student is assigned to, and then they can either I guess they can choose. I like to have them choose as much as possible whether they want to maybe make it artistic and draw what they're thinking, or they can write it out, or they can make a graphic, or anything like that. Visuals are huge. So sometimes when we were talking about, or we read the book Esperanza Rising, and we were talking about immigration and poverty, and I posted a lot of pictures around the room to look at from the Dust Bowl and things like that this book kind of went over and the content within it. So they were able to go around and look at all the pictures and the visuals throughout the room. Another strategy that I use in my room is strategy 35, which is be dramatic. I'm a very dramatic teacher. I like to have fun with my kids. So it's exciting to me to, have them come up and be the teacher for a little while. Or maybe we break up into groups and we have a play. So one of the things that I did at the end of the year this year was we did a point of view courtroom case. So I read the original Three Little Pigs to them, and then I read the true story of the Three Little Pigs, which is in the wolf's point of view. And we assigned each student a part. So whether it was Pig 1 or the wolf or a lawyer or the judge or the jury, each of them had a part. So they were able to listen to the stories, and then if you were the wolf or the pig, you were able to talk on your behalf and say why you think that they're guilty or non-guilty. And so it was really interesting. So I like to have the kids up and moving and talking throughout the class and not just sitting there and lecture. I didn't like it, and I know they're not going to like it, especially when they're younger in the elementary ages. They need to get up and be moving. So I definitely think that the classes that I didn't enjoy and the classes that I did enjoy impacted me in that way. So I'm kind of happy for both experiences, even though one of the experiences wasn't that great, but it definitely taught me how to be a good teacher in the end.